Okay, supplier management. So in Zahara, you get to your suppliers or vendors. If you're a US customer, go in business and then suppliers, and you're presented with your list. The first thing to say is you can make a supplier active or inactive. So, for example, you've hit your credit limit, you want to turn the supplier off, you can just tick them and then you can make them active or inactive over here. If they're inactive, they obviously just don't appear in the drop-down list. If we take one of our made-up suppliers down here, Adobe Systems, and we click the edit, obviously we can have an address, supplier account code, telephone number, that kind of thing. We can categorize a supplier as well. So if we categorize this supplier as software, and then when we can use that value in the workflows. So, for example, it could be that somebody in your organization approves all the software purchases and somebody approves all the hardware purchases. That type of thing. Um, if we go to products as the next tab, then all of the products that we've saved for this particular supplier are here. So I've got two products. Now I can bulk import products. I can download our CSV template. So for example, if I download that and pop it up on screen, it's very simple. You just need to populate as many of the suppliers down here. The discount, you need to put in at least 0. If you get no discount, put 0 in there. That's a little bit of a gotcha. And the good thing is that you can, once say you had 1,000 products in there, you can export the products off, manipulate them, import them back in again. So you won't create duplicates. Provided the product codes are consistent, then we'll just overwrite them. So that's quite important. If we take this one here for Photoshop, you can see that we've got the product code, we've got the price, tax rate. We can preset the nominal code, we can preset the cost code, and even a project code as well. If we wanted to record a product like, say, Creative Cloud, it could be CC, blah, blah, blah. And we'll say the net value is £50 a month. There's no tax and there's 0 discount. And the nominal code will be materials purchased. And that's it. In fact, I'll set a project, cost code as well. So I'll add that product to the list. So it's called Creative Cloud. So now, for example, if we were to try and raise a purchase, we click plus a new purchase, and we used Adobe as our supplier. There's Creative Cloud. And we can control what's displayed here as well. So at the moment that says Creative Cloud hyphen. If we go to Business, Settings, Formatting, and we go to the product code, what it's showing there is the name of the product and your code. Well, actually, we didn't populate our code. We populated the manufacturer's code. So if I put in the supplier product code there as well and click Save, and we go to plus new purchase, supplier Adobe Systems, and now we've got Creative Cloud CC, blah, blah, blah. So obviously, the product code is very much searchable here. So if you're getting your buyers to buy products, then they can search on the product code. If we go back to the supplier records, I'll just talk you through some of the other features we have here. Let's go back to Adobe. Okay, so we looked at products and how we can export them all off, manipulate them, edit them, import them back in. That's all there. We can add them manually. Now we can also add products when we're raising purchases. So when we had that purchase screen up, if I just open that in a new tab and show you, if we were raising a purchase and we populated a product code, then we can have that product saved against the supplier's record. But you can also turn that off as well. So we call that line product. So allow or prevent products from being added when recording invoices or orders. So that's an important setting. And if you bulk import your suppliers, that will probably be set to off. So by default, we won't allow you to add products, ad hoc products effectively on the go, but you may want that. Obviously under this tab here, you've got the ability to set some defaults. So you can say, you can set the tax rate, you can set the cost code and the default currency for this particular supplier. Restricted buying as well. Users will not be able to add products to this supplier in the purchase area. So what this means is, again, if we come to our line item here, if I was to choose Adobe Systems and I'm all set to go, then I've got the opportunity of adding a blank line item here. If I was to enable this here, restricted buying, and we save the changes, if we were to click plus a new purchase again, by default we've got the line item there, and we choose Adobe, notice how the line item's now disappeared. So that means that your buyer can now only choose products that you've preset. So part of Zahara's marketing line is to say we add control and visibility to your buying. That is an example of some of the controls that you can put in place. So these when you're buying from Adobe, for example, you can only buy products that we set at the price that we've agreed. Notice how the different things are grayed out here. So that's really important. We've set the pricing of Creative Cloud. It's £50. You can't change that. Same for Photoshop. It's £900. That's the price you're paying. So if this is for people who've got agreed pricing from their suppliers. And that's not a blanket setting. We don't make you do that kind of, for every single supplier. You can do it on a supplier by supplier basis. So that's quite useful. Payments isn't used yet, but it's going to come. If you want to kind of put in bank details for your suppliers, you can do that. We're going to start offering payments in the near future. Obviously, if you want to create notes around your supplier, you can do. You can also add documents to it. So the documents for us are things like, could be like a terms sheet, it could be a product guide or something like that. You can upload as many documents as you like, and then the history of the supplier's kind of transactions with you. So all of the purchase orders, all of the invoices will all be displayed here, and you can reference or find information using the search facility up here, or you can put them in kind of change the date order so the most recent ones come first, and obviously you can click into the orders and the invoices. And then finally we've got email addresses. So by default you want to record an invoice that an email that you're going to use to send a purchase order to, but then you've got the opportunity of adding kind of like a customer services email, a credit control email, that sort of thing. And bearing in mind with our workflows, you can now send an email to a supplier to say your invoice has been approved. You might want to be recording multiple emails against that supplier record. So I hope I've covered all the bases here. Explain what restricted buying is and what the line products are. So I hope that's been useful for you. And yeah, great.